Hey, we're Blenderstyle, and we don't believe in trees. On this episode, Wes Borland, Mutiny on the Starbarge, released in 2023. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Where's toilet paper come from then?
Bend over.
What did... Never mind.
So this album popped up last year as a new release. I'm not a big Limp Bizkit fan, really.
Mm-hmm.
I do think Wes Borland's an interesting dude with all of his wacky shit that he does with his painting himself and all the guitar playing he does for the band. And I knew he did what's the project he does with his brother? Big Dumb
Big
Head?
Dumb Face?
Big Dumb Face, something like that. I didn't really get into that, but I saw this and I was just like, I'll check it out.
This dude's got like a million side bands, though.
And I played it once. And I was just like, whoa, I was not expecting it to be this chill and instrumental and spacey.
Okay.
The title of the album, Mutiny on the Starbarge, and all the songs are like spacey, like sci-fi kind of shit. And I was just like, it definitely had the mood, and it caught my attention right away. Listened to it a lot, and finally was like, I'll just pick it. And I wanted to know what you guys thought about it.
So this is his fourth solo album, or fourth attempt at getting onto a soundtrack. So he...
Because it's kind of like soundtrack.
It is soundtrack music. So his first release, I don't remember the name of it. We'll put it on the screen. But was a soundtrack to a fictional movie, or a movie that he had made up in his mind. And it was kind of like from what I read, was kind of a put myself out there to show that I could kind of be like Danny Elfman and make soundtrack music. And it got critical acclaim. Like everybody who's listened to it said it was really good. I haven't checked it out. But this one I've never heard. I've never listened to any of them, but listening to this, I was kind of turned off by it.
Yeah, I remember initially you didn't like this.
And I'm still kind of up in the air on it because there's something about it. Like you said, there's this really atmospheric feel to it. And it flows like it's a soundtrack or like it's a movie and it's telling a story without any lyrics, which bugs the shit out of me. But also it just, to me, it feels like rehashed over and over and over. It's like the same concept is just rehashed through every track on this album. And that's the thing that really bugs me about it.
It's a conceptual instrumental.
Yeah.
He also performs, sorry, just real quick, he
performs
with Danny Elfman still.
Okay.
Really?
Like he plays in Danny Elfman's live band.
I didn't know that.
With
That's
Josh
cool.
Freese.
That's cool.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, Casey, we did, what is it, Peter Gabriel, music for the Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah, and Passion. I couldn't get into it.
You didn't like that one either.
No.
And you didn't really like Hacks and Cloak either.
No, I didn't.
And these are all like soundtracky. So do you need like the movie to kind of make this shit work? Is it lacking?
I think if there was a movie to it, and something to assign to portray that feeling or whatever, I just don't get it without the vocal, the fry or the emotional input into the vocal part. To me, it just kind of is lost.
So do you need vocals to have emotion?
I think so. Which is weird to say because piano, like classical piano music, I can feel emotion in, but like this stuff I can't. And I don't even know if it's that, because I really feel like I said, I feel like this album is the same one concept, and he's just doing it over and over. Like, it feels very dated. I read somewhere that this took him, it was years in the making, and it feels like that. It feels like he wrote a song and then came back a few years later and forgot what he had written before and kind of rehashed the same idea into another.
So I agree to a point. Like, there's this bell sound that keeps kind of recurring, this theme that keeps kind of happening. I think it makes the album tight.
It makes it like cohesive, but at the same time, to me, because there's nothing that differentiates it, or there's no like sudden turn or anything, it all kind of just has this mellow flow.
It is a flow.
It comes off as just kind of the same idea rehashed over and over and over again.
I think there's ideas that are I would agree with you 100% that like with this as being like an album, standalone album, it doesn't make sense. I feel like you need the scenes for it, because for an instrumental, it's almost written like a score in the sense of like it does change up. I would disagree with you that I do think there's things that change up and stuff. But it's for an instrumental album, it's kind of short. Like the songs are kind of shorter and stuff still. So like I think that's because it's you don't need 10 minutes of
it's not
music.
score.
It's because you know what I'm saying. So that's where it's like, well, pick one. Is it for a movie or is it for my ears? If it's for my ears, maybe we should put a little more effort into this.
And maybe that's what it is. I agree with you. I think if you were to see the movie that was playing in Wes's head when he wrote each track for what scene, it would be so much more entertaining, I think. Because I could only imagine where Wes's mind is. I mean, like you said, the visual stuff that he does on stage with the costumes and stuff, it's all visual art. He's an artist, and he's probably got some crazy shit in his head.
Well, that's what's cool about it, too, because it's open to interpretation. So for me, which I've noted a couple times on the show, is that, like, space, it doesn't really scare me, but like the ocean scares the shit out of me. And this definitely has that vibe for me, of like, I'm thinking of the in the ocean kind of sounds.
This is just the water of this ocean.
So I think why another reason this resonated for me as I was playing this, I'm going to get real nerdy on you. I was playing this role-playing game called Starforged. I'm going to put this in the like Starforged forums and it'll track. Shout out to the Ironforge community out there. I apologize for being a nerd. But it's this like sci-fi game. And it's like throwback, it's like low tech sci-fi. You're lost, life support's failing, shit's falling apart, you don't know what's going to happen, but you're having a good time. You know what I mean? And this is the sound. I listened to this a lot while playing that game.
Okay.
And it's totally the right mood for it. Like sometimes it's fun and quirky and shit's happening. And then sometimes it's like desolate and you're by yourself and it's spooky.
Yeah.
But it's always like pleasurable.
I think this would make a good soundtrack to listen to in the background while you're playing games or when you're having,
I think you need this for like when we talked about Hacks and Cloak, you impressed me. You're like, we're talking about how we listened to that album and you're like, oh, I coffee like high volume. I'm like, really? Just like I like to scare myself first thing in the morning with coffee. And I think how you listen to this makes a big difference. So if you have some sort of activity where you're like busy and you like need to focus, this is perfect for that. It reminds me of Nine Inch Nails' Ghosts. Remember that?
Yeah.
Those 4 albums.
See, and I didn't get into those either.
That's also instrumental.
Your very own Harpoon very much sounds like Nine Inch Nails to me.
Yeah, it's and there's some bangers on here, dude. Mounting the Husk, the second track, I think's a banger.
I definitely enjoyed it for sure.
And there's like later in the album, like your very own Harpoon, there's like jazz, like shedding style drums.
So he actually did this with his brother on some tracks, right? Some collaborating.
I think so.
So that's kind of cool, right? It's something besides Big Dumb Face, which I agree with you guys. Like I have friends that are like, Big Dumb Face is awesome, and
I love Big Dumb Face.
I just never, I don't know.
I think because Big Dumb Face, the storytelling is there, and I think this is a visual storytelling or a sonic storytelling, and it goes over my head. I need somebody to tell me the story. I can't interpret myself. I have no imagination, I think, is the problem. So Big Dumb Face is like way more entertaining to me because that story of Duke Line and everybody else is just freaking awesome.
Well, with that said, Casey, what do you give it for a rating?
I give it a 2.1.
Ouch.
I didn't really like it. I felt like it sounded the same throughout. It felt very dated. I think that's the problem with it for me. I would love to listen to his first solo album just because everybody says that one is the pinnacle.
I didn't listen to all of his stuff, but I did dabble. It's good.
Okay.
I sometimes stay away from those albums. Like when somebody's like, you have to, this is the peak of it. I'm just like, the peak of it?
Well,
who are you to say it's the peak?
This is my thing. This is my thing with Wes Borland. Wes Borland's a genius, like with all the different stuff he does. But sometimes his creativity is so over the top that I just don't understand it, and this is one of those times.
His makeup alone's just like, whoa.
Yeah, like when he comes out on stage, sometimes just like a mustache, slick back hair, cowboy boots, and underwear.
Yeah, just
you're like, okay.
You know the ladies love that though.
Well, no, but this is the thing. Like,
and then Fred Durst comes out looking weird as well, and like, what is with
the
this
Limp Bizkit are fucking killing it. I love that they're having this like.
All right, this isn't a Limp Bizkit
But
review.
I also feel like his other
Calm your
stuff,
tits.
like I said, Big Dumb Face is great. Limp Bizkit's great. Black Light Burns is great. It's too.
It's the weakest of all of them for you.
I don't necessarily like. I'd like to go back and listen to the other stuff, but this is the one I understand the least. I would say that.
I listened to this today just because.
Because you're lame.
Nathan, what do you rate it?
I give it a 3.2. I would listen to this again. The things that Casey are saying that he doesn't like are some of the things that I kind of also didn't like with like the date. Like it sounds dated to me in the sense of like recording.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you really think about it, like it sounds like he's probably sitting in front of a computer and like really like kind of like hashing these things out. I'm not sure if you went to like a studio to do this, if it was at an at-home studio or something. I couldn't really find much information.
Yeah, I'm the same way about it.
But that's also the thing that I love about it, right? You know,
very homegrown.
Something that is the same thing when we've talked about other bands like this that are more like atmospheric. Like I think that it puts you in this trance. And I just think of these people writing this stuff and putting themselves in this trance of just listening. Like
the lights are off.
Yeah, like
low
this is something that, you know.
When they're writing it, yeah.
And I like it when people are in misery. And so 3.2.
It's not misery like in such a way.
This was probably a headache for him in some points, I think.
It has a certain conflict to it, like some drama to it.
This was everything he recorded in his 2 minutes of downtime between his 6 billion projects.
I really enjoyed it.
It's just like a...
Yeah.
We're on the internet
it's like
discussing this, and he was just like...
It's like I got 2 minutes between my next project. I'm going to start a song. And then a week later, he's like, oh, I'll work on that song. And then a month later, he's like, I'll do some more on that song. That's what it feels like.
When it comes down to it, AI wrote it. He's just not telling anybody.
Wait, Wes Borland is AI.
It does feel human to me, though.
I actually have that written in my notes. It's like almost robotic at times, but human.
Mm-hmm.
Is it is it half man, half robot in the ocean?
I don't know. That's kind of terrifying if you think about it.
I mean, we're running out of oxygen.
Yeah. Shit's not going well.
The pressure's coming.
But someone's like...
I thought it was good.
But someone made a funny joke, and I chuckled. I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
That's why I give it a 4.2 out of 5.
Oh,
wow.
Shit.
I thought this was good. I don't want to say where this ranked in my top albums of 2023.
Well, if you're bringing it up, then it's probably pretty up there.
Check out our episode because we do talk about it on the top albums of 2023. I thought it was a fucking jammer, dude. Like I said, I think it works really good with that game, Starforged. If you're doing like game night and you got some sci-fi shit going on, put this on. It's, it's happening. It's not super ambient. It catches my attention a lot.
Yeah, very much so.
I listen to it a lot easily. I highly recommend it.
Somebody should dub this over all the soundtrack for the Star Wars movies.
That would be funny, dude.
Remind me again, like, how many tracks is this again?
This is 9 tracks, 40 minutes. It's pretty short.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. It's not too long. Like those Hacks and Cloak albums are heavy.
Yeah.
This one's easier to kind of consume. So it's a quick game. Hey, we're Blenderstyle. That was Wes Borland, Mutiny on the Starbarge. Let us know what else we should review. Leave a comment, like and subscribe. It helps us out on the YouTube algorithm. Tell Nathan his face contortions aren't noticeable. He thinks people notice and we just try to ignore them. I guess bringing it up's not the right thing.
Wait, Nathan's over there again?
Yeah. Big dumb face is about your face.